this is our interview with Lee from the Paralympics. So Lee, what do you think about your Paralympic opportunity?
I'm psyched, man. I can't wait. I think our team is in a really good spot. It's some of the most competitive that it's ever been right now. But I feel like we're ready. So we're leaving here August 20th. Um, we'll be there for about a week for like a little mini training camp. Leading up to it, and then our first game, I believe, is the 29th. I think we're playing Canada in our first game, and I think it's the 29th. And then we play 5 days in a row. No days off. One game a day.
So you can go to NBC.com to figure out where you're going to be airing.
Yeah, NBC and I think Peacock too.
Lee, can
Yeah.
I ask you how many Olympics Paralympics will this be for you?
This is gonna be my third. I was in Rio, Tokyo, and this will be the third.
Did you win medals at the other two?
Yeah.
Yeah, two silvers. We came in second twice.
Oh boy.
Rio was double overtime. We lost by one. And then Tokyo we lost to GB in the final. All right, it hurts, being so close.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing.
So you guys
Yeah,
really want you more than anything. Probably you always really want gold, but you really, really want gold when you have to
yeah,
settle for silver twice in a row. I feel like.
yeah. We're going hard for the gold this time. We've been trying since 2008. We haven't been on top of the podium in the Paralympics, but we're gonna get there this year. We're psyched. We're ready.
Who's your biggest rival?
It used to be Canada, but like now the top seven teams in the world, any one of those teams can beat the other one if depending on what day and how players are playing. Like it's super competitive. I want to really beat Australia. I want to really beat GB because those both of those teams are the ones that got us. So, but I don't know who our biggest rivalry would be right now. Like it's so competitive, so it's hard to say.
Have you ever gotten hurt? I know that's why it's a tough sport because I have been researching it for a couple of weeks now, watching videos of old things. Have you ever gotten hurt?
So like I've gone over and sometimes you whack your head, on the floor, like you can get a concussion like that. I've had shoulder injuries that have healed, but nothing crazy. Where the chair is what takes most of the beating. It's
Okay.
full contact chair to chair, so the chairs are smashing into each other at high speeds, and people are falling over. But as long as you know how to fall, you don't really get too hurt.
Could you explain to our audience how your coaches work?
So we have two coaches. We have a head coach and named Joe Delagrave. He's been coaching us since after Tokyo. He was actually one of our players. He was an athlete. He was in Tokyo competing, and then he took over the coaching job. And then we have an assistant coach, and they're basically just giving us, the strategies, the way that they want us to run our offense and defense, and structure and practices and camps and stuff.
Do you mind talking a little bit about the injury you sustained? Like, what are you willing to share? And is the sport still work by the class rating where you have to have a number to balance all the teams and what yours is and how that works maybe a little bit too?
I was injured when I was 19. I broke my neck, C5-6. I was riding a dirt bike. Um, I was away at college. My second semester, I'd come home. For like Easter. It was around Easter time. I came home to visit family, and I just took a dirt bike out for a ride on an old trail, and I hit like a pile of leaves that had bricks and stuff, debris in it. It was kind of hidden. I just flipped over the handlebars, landed on my head.
Wow.
Fast forward, I saw that movie Murderball, the documentary, and I found out that there was athletics after injury, and it kind of saved my life.
Hmm.
It really, really, really helped me. Um, And then I'm a C5'6", so I'm a 1-pointer, 1.0. And the classifications range, it goes from 0.5, which is the least amount of function, and then it from 0.5 increments, it goes up to 3.5. So 3.5 is the most function. You know, they're people with trunk and they have full arms. You know, they're usually missing some fingers on their hands and amputated legs and stuff. So out of the 4 players on the court, you can only have 8 points. So it's like strategic. You have to put, you know, you can put 4 twos out there, you know, or 2 threes and 2 ones for like a high low.
Right.
So there's strategy between the lines that you want to run because matchups, a lot of matchups are important. So if you get the right guys, you can force turnovers and stuff that you want to get.
Were you an athlete before?
Yeah, I grew up playing a ton of sports my whole life. I was big. I liked hockey. I played soccer my whole life. Football, lacrosse. I was big into like wakeboarding and surfing and snowboarding. Yeah, just really active. You know, I just like to be out doing things. So when I broke my neck, I sort of lost my identity. I didn't know who I was anymore. And then the adaptive athletics kind of helped me get through it.
Would you like to explain a little bit about where you live?
Sure, yeah. Right now I live in Arizona with 2 of my teammates actually. We play club ball together, and these guys just recently made the USA team, and they're both low pointers like me. So one is a 0.5 who has less function than I do, and one is a 1.5 but slightly more function than I do. And we have a little house that we kind of all stay in and make it work. You know, the low point household we call it.
That's
Quad
pretty cool.
house.
You probably have a lot of
Yeah.
fun together, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's nice because, you know, they can kind of relate and you know, they know what you're going through and sometimes and it's, you know, guys that you can talk to. It's like a whole nother family. But most of my family's in New York. So
Okay.
that's kind of makes it hard cuz I'm traveling so much. So and I love my family. You know, real close with them. So being away from them is hard sometimes.
Are they going to be able to come over and see you in Paris?
Yeah, a whole bunch of them are coming. Yeah, both my brothers and my mom and dad and grandma and my brother's kids and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be real cool. I'm excited.
That's awesome. So we got to ask you about the New York thing.
Do you like Yankees or Red Sox? Because that
Yeah,
will include this, but that's one of our most topics.
I
And
don't like
so,
Yankees or Red Sox. I
Uh-oh.
hate them both. I'm actually Mets all day.
All right. There you go. He's a Mets fan. All right.
The
Now,
Yankees are the only New York team I don't like.
is that
You know,
right?
like I like the Islanders,
oh
but
boy.
I also like the Rangers. Um, I like the Knicks. I like Brooklyn.
Why do you not
Yeah.
like the Yankees out of all the New York
And,
teams?
well, growing up, it was like when I was younger, they were always like the one of the best teams, you know, and I felt it was that way because they just bought all they had so much money, so they were buying all their players, and
Right.
it was kind of an advantage, and I didn't like that.
Hmm.
Uh, it's funny because my dad would bring us to hockey games, New York Islanders versus the Rangers, and there would be more fights in the stands than there were on the ice.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
going crazy like that, the rivalry.
Yeah. What sport did you like when you were a kid? I know you're still a kid, but when you grow up.
My favorite sport, when I was younger, I wanted to be an NHL hockey player. I loved ice hockey. It was definitely my favorite sport growing up. We also played roller hockey too, but ice hockey was my thing. I really liked it. So
Mm.
much fun playing.
So you
Um,
probably are well aware of one of the themes of this episode that we're doing is rivalry. So we talked about a big U.S. Rivalry, and we talked a little bit about the Miracle on Ice in 1980 and defeating the Soviet Union. And
Yes.
so would you say to you this year, if USA defeated Great Britain or Australia, that would be like your miracle on the hardwood.
Yes, yeah, for sure. If we got gold, I'd consider that our miracle on the court.
On the court. Yeah, the miracle on the court. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
definitely rooting for you, and we're gonna, make sure we can find how to watch it, if it's online or if it's Peacock streaming it, and it'd be wonderful. I mean, a dream come true for us, I think, would be to like have it on NBC proper, during the day. Probably because you're going into September, right? Like the
Yeah.
finals will probably not be until September. I mean, we might be in school, and you guys hopefully are gonna be there in that gold medal game. Maybe we'll be able to watch it.
All right, thank you, Lee, for taking the time tonight. I know it's crazy, and we'll send it back over to the studio.
Hey, thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Pleasure meeting you guys.
Thanks
Good
so
luck.
much, Lee.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.